Hello, everybody. This is Living with the Darkness, the Changeling venue. Today we have a scene in the Bronx where Terry goes to the markets in the trade belongs to the Trade Federation. Now, the market is one of the best common places. It's a very small freehold, but there's many individuals who comes in their free times and do crafting, basically. Some of them sell very beautiful gowns, jewelry. Some sells weapons, and yeah, that's how we will begin our scene.
Yeah, Terry is walking around, looking at the different stalls and places, and people might actually greet a couple of people that she knows, just your usual market kind of thing. As
Hmm.
she is like herself not entirely sure if this is something that she wants to do, but she feels it's kind of necessary in a way. So, sort of checking out like more of the weapony kind of things.
The you kind of go around, and now one of the things you definitely realize is that you basically become a bit better at getting recognized. The You saying that you're a sorcerer of two arts has made you someone who gets easily again recognized, and people wants to make you buy stuff. Therefore they're saying like, oh, sorcerer Terry, why don't you come and see my wares, see this jewelry, see this thing, see this, that, see this, see that. And it is,
Terry now realizes that she should have come here as an otter.
I mean, if you come as an otter, probably a guard would have kicked you and
Probably.
said go back.
Yeah.
Now that you are in the area, um, there's one smith that you know from the
Hmm.
past. You knew the smith. You kind of like try to get her to do things with Ragnar before Ragnar died,
Hmm.
and it's Jenny. Jenny, the troll, the smith. She is one of those nicest individuals in the Bronx. She sells things and do things very nicely, and is one of the people that you know. There's another Dougal that you know that the like, or you heard, that does things in the market. There's two blacksmiths.
Okay. I mean, kind of makes sense that she knows Jenny, so she'll
Hmm.
walk up to Jenny and she won't interrupt her if she's actually like busy, just kind of watching, waiting, that
Now
kind of
you are
stuff.
waiting as she is hammering the sword
Yeah.
that she is making.
Yeah, like Terry's not gonna interrupt her. That's rude, and she's learning about basic etiquettes now. She's trying not to be rude, for once.
You wait for 10 minutes,
Yeah, that's cool.
and then she kind of turns and says, "Oh, oh, um,
Hey, what's up?
I'm quite fine. Sorcerer Terry.
Yeah, no, just Terry.
It is. I'm doing well. I hope you are also doing well, ma'am.
Just Terry, please. Not ma'am or. Ugh. Can we just keep it to Terry and Jenny and just.
I mean, I
please.
don't choose your words. I rather you don't choose mine as well.
Okay, but I don't like being called ma'am.
Thank you. I won't
So
use
I
ma'am
would.
again.
Awesome. Thanks. That's cool. So what would you prefer? Like I can call you ma'am if you really want to,
Jenny.
but okay,
Jenny is quite
cool.
fine.
So Jenny and Terry. Awesome. So how's things going? How's business?
It is quite busy with the war preparations and the Queens. We have done many things to Queens, and Queens is usually buying from here. Even though they had this deal with the Goblin Town, the many of the citizens come here.
Mm,
They don't trust goblins, or they don't trust knockers, and how their stuff may explode. There's always a flaw in knocker tech, which they call knocker tech, but it's just something with a flaw.
fair enough.
I
So
hope your business is also going well.
mm, on the edge of bankruptcy, you know how that goes. We're struggling, but we're probably gonna make it. We have high hopes.
I'm happy to hear it. Do you wish to buy a shield, a sword, a crossbow?
Well, I don't know. Like, I was actually looking for flowers, but just happened to come across your place, and I thought I'd just check in and see if I could interest you in a challenge.
She doesn't seem to understand what you mean, and she says, okay.
Could you make a weapon that doesn't kill?
Well, that's not a weapon, that is a treasure. All weapons are designed to kill.
I mean, usually when someone has like a quarterstaff or something, then it doesn't necessarily kill, unless
Well,
you keep banging it. But
exactly. The quarter stuff, with enough force, everything can kill another being. Now, if you want a quarter stuff, yes, quarter stuff is easily doable. Now, if you want a sword that just rejects to kill the being that is attacking, it is a treasure. Yes, I can do both. I'm a talented craftsman. A crafter. Craftsman is just not the word I should use about myself, actually. Yeah. Crafter. Now,
okay.
the there's two ways of building this treasure that you wish to have. Or, again, you can get a quarter staff, which will be way cheaper.
Hmm.
Now, treasure is done via two ways. Every single treasure, including Caliburn, is done by either two ways. Now, one of them are imbued or the crafted ones. Now, I'm one of this job is basically understanding what the weapon needs to do, and I think it is Sovereign 4, the fourth level of Sovereign. Dictum needs to be casted on the art. It needs to be imbued on this weapon. Now, it's the fourth level, therefore, you need four specific craft material that you need to find and then I need to use. I would say one of them would be a griffin bone, dark metal, dark iron can be another one, or a silver, like a pure silver from the dreaming. Some of these stuff I can find, some of these stuff you need to find on your own. The weapon needs to be have your mark as well if you're going to use it. Now, this is the hard way. Easy way is basically finding someone who has sovereign and then convincing them to help you. I will build the masterwork weapon for you that is easy to imbue. The rest will be between you and the person who wishes to imbue the weapon.
Hmm. So, what kind of materials would I need to find? Because
I need
I don't
you.
know anyone who casts Sovereign.
Well, I know the Baron Damavand has. I know the Carfia may have.
I don't think we're on very good footing.
Well, you don't need to be good friends. You can offer them something they want. But items that you will need to find will be hard. This is a from the high, like when we think about this, it is a treasure that is going to be considered. Oh, see, I'm checking. Give me 2 seconds because I'm dumb. It is called the treasure. Oh, okay, I checked it. Treasure that you're going to have is basically going to be considered unique. Therefore, yeah, you will need to find unique things to cast this treasure again. So maybe like a royal griffin's bone, um, pure silver, on top of a silver mountain. These are some things I say, but I need specifics, and I will let you know what I need to find to cast this to do the thing that I need to have. It will just take a day. I will talk with some
Okay.
specific people.
Well, if you're up for the challenge of making such a unique treasure, I'd be up for the challenge of finding the materials.
Well,
Sounds like fun.
she nods and says, "The I think that the weapon that you're going to have should be worthy of a title of a sorcerer. Therefore, it should be mastercrafted. I don't know if you agree."
Uh, I mean, I would prefer that I would be worthy of the weapon instead of the weapon being worthy to me. I am just a simple bartender.
Well, you may call yourself a simple bartender, but that is not going to fly with the treasure. Dreaming does like stories, and if you keep calling yourself a simple bartender, then you're going to get a simple bartender treasure.
I mean, I am sure that everybody just loves the story of the simple individual who is in no means special, who rises up to the occasion
Yes.
without,
Now,
becoming pretentious or something.
the do you need a masterwork weapon or not? Masterwork's weapon basically are better, faster, usually cuts deeper, or in your case, knocks them quicker.
Sounds like a good idea.
She takes papers, writes masterwork treasure. The You're going to bring me
Mhm.
the materials. Therefore, I'm
Mhm.
not going to ask you the material price. And this will be 15 dross
Okay.
for me to work, as it's masterwork. Normally, a masterwork sword is way more expensive, but you're bringing the materials, therefore, no need for extra cash or dross.
Okay.
Um, if I get the extra materials, we can make a deal in the future as well about the extra materials. And yeah, the that would be it for now. 15 draws.
Okay.
Once it's done, I will not now, of course. Once it's done,
How about half of it now and half of it,
now that's
when
not
you're
how I work.
finished?
I know that it's like
Okay.
puts me in a problematic situation, but I uh, don't work that way. I rather it's done and then get the payment. It is just it's something about me that it's weird. I know.
It's fine if that's how you want to roll it. Then you know.
Well, you don't need to stand there. Come here. There's some stuff I need to do.
Oh, oh, okay. Uh, sure.
She kind of like pulls a chair, and it's like a not a comfy chair. It is basically like a sit, small, and he gives for
Mhm.
Terry. He gives it to Terry. She gives it to Terry. Once she sits, or if she does, he takes a
Mhm.
like a something to measure Terry's hands.
Measure tape, probably.
Yeah, and then like it's a chimerical one, and she starts measuring Terry's hands. She measures Terry's body. Now, why don't you hold this? And she gives like a long sword to Terry. First, pardon, she
Okay.
gives like a two-handed sword to Terry.
Oh lol. Okay. Uh, Terry will try and hold it, but that's way
What's your
heavier than
strength?
everything she's used so far.
What's your strength?
Terry's strength is two.
Um, then you like try to hold it, and she's like, no, no, not that. She like takes it back, and then she gives a bastard sword. Now, bastard sword is between a sword that is between.
Mhm.
I think
One
you
hander and
know
two hander. Hmm.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Now we don't need extra strength for this sword, but it's still maybe a bit too much for Terry's.
Yeah.
Terry saw Nazrick using this. Now she kind of like looks at you while like you're standing with the sword, and she kind of like because Terry isn't short, but she's not that tall as well, right?
Terry is a little bit above average when
Okay.
it comes to length, but
hmm
she's also very like thin and bony.
hmm The
So
she says, "I don't think this is fitting as well."
this is kind of heavy.
She takes the sword and puts it down, and then she gives her a long sword. Now, long sword for someone who uses a weapon like a
Hmm.
knife also becomes long. Now,
Hmm.
longsword is it's known to be long. You know, long
Yeah,
swords are long.
yeah.
So you
That's
kind
why
of
it's
look at
probably
it.
called a long sword.
Yeah, you kind of like look at it and no, you can try, but maybe still long.
Yeah. Terry kind of weighs it, holds it. Like she's never fought with a sword before,
hmm
so it still kind of looks awkward. But I think
The,
she could manage it. Like she does have melee too, and you
mhm.
know, but she's mostly used that with like clubs and daggers and things like that.
Jenny takes a sword from her hand again, and then she kind of brings a short sword. Now, this kind of fits Terry's hand because she's using like short sword is like again shorter than a long sword, but it's
Mm,
higher than a longer than a knife. Now, this is up to you as a thing, but like it would it feel like it's fitting better. Now it's shorter, but she also knows that the many of the casters use a short sword.
hmm. Sure.
So she Janie kind of gives her a look like, how's this one?
I mean, at least I can hold it, unlike the first one. Um, yeah, it's cool.
Now we can build a short sword or a long sword or a knife, but
Mm, I don't mind this one. This feels nice. Like I have a knife, but yeah.
okay. She writes it down. Short sword takes your measurements of your hand, takes a measurement of your arm, takes a measurement of your shoulders, and then she says, "Okay, I think I have everything I need. I'm going to close the shop and go have a talk with someone." But the I think that the short sword. can be cool. I'm trying to think like if there's any other weapon that you may want to use for this at least. But yeah, it's going to be a weapon that doesn't cut, and it just does damage like a club.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, is there any other
So,
question you have?
well, if it does damage like a club, why don't I use a club?
Well, then use it. I can sell you a club.
No, no. I mean, hmm.
If you hit someone to the head with a club, you may still kill them.
Uh-huh.
Now, this only difference with this weapon that you're going to have is that you will have a reassurance that this won't kill anyone.
Okay.
As much as you hit them, it's gonna not kill them. Now, you can hold your strength back with a club and try to not kill them, but that's
Hmm.
up to you.
Yeah, cool. No, I like. This is good.
She nods. Well, you're sure that you don't want me to talk with the Baron or someone, like find someone who has sovereign?
Uh, I like the idea of this being our creation.
Okay. She nods. The I'm gonna return to you as soon as possible regarding the probably again tomorrow, regarding the items that you may need.
Hmm.
And yeah, we will be on our way then after that one.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, if there's anything else I can maybe interest you, like a crossbow,
No, thanks.
who shoots darts that doesn't pierce but maybe break noses.
I'll think about that. But wouldn't that be the same sort of difficulty as the thing that you're making for me now?
No, I'm just gonna give you a crossbow with a non-piercing air bolts. It just throws like a bolt that doesn't have a pointy end.
Hmm.
You can still enter to someone's ear, so or someone's eye.
Yeah.
Well, aiming at an eye is always easy. It'll always hard anyway.
Hmm. I'll think about it. Like, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a long range weapon, but I don't want to be like. I mean, you get from my request that I'm not a fighter.
So you're a sorcerer, not a fighter.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, you're still a powerful changeling, as you are a sorcerer.
Do you know how many other sorcerers there are here? Like the
There's a
Bronx?
Baron Damavand, who's
Of course.
master of the Sovereign and the master of the Art Summer. I heard Dame Carfia is master of. Apologies, Dame Carfia is master of Summer, while
Hmm.
Baron Damavand is master of another art that I don't remember. The I heard that there is another person that is a master of contract. I think that person was Dame Isabella. Lastly, I know there was like one guy way in the past who was Master of Winter, but that he got kind of kicked.
Mm,
He was his name was Rusty, yeah, or bit of a red cap who was connections with Mob, and then Baron Dam event kicked him away.
mm. I mean, I'm not surprised.
Baron Dam event doesn't like those who creates troubles.
Yeah, I'm overly aware of that.
She nods.
Well, thank you for your time and thank you for your efforts so far. And looking forward to hear from you.
Thank you. I will try my best to do the basically to tell you what you need.
Hmm.
Um, hopefully, I will just talk with the couple other individuals and maybe ask a couple ideas for this sword. It's not like I don't know things. I just want to get the best thing, and sometimes you kind of need to ask for the best thing. I have the idea of maybe because it is unique, you may need a creature like a bone of a unique creature or a metal that like is in a specific raise in a specific place. Because if I make it from iron, it will be easy to break. If I make it out of silver, silver is easy to bend as well. So it may
Mm.
bend when like it gets a hit from a hammer. So I'm considering the ideas of what it can be. And a dragon bone. If you can find a dragon bone, we can make this very easy.
Oof. Okay, I can always try, I suppose.
I mean, no, don't. Dragon bone is usually used for dragon's ire. It's not usually
Mm.
used for the sovereign. But the because it is such a high and mighty art, and she doesn't like, joke when she says high and mighty art. She does think that the sovereign is a high and mighty art. She says it's because it's a bit of a high and mighty art. I think that like you may need something like a jewel on the weapon as well. Now you can ask for a jewel to be crafted by. There's a jeweler here.
Hmm.
All the things I ask can be gathered with a lot of dross.
Yeah.
The I remember it used to be like you need to steal a jewel of someone else. That things never goes well.
Yeah, that gets you in trouble.
Well, I need to return to hit the sword a bit more.
Hmm.
It's the sword of the Imbruma. She was training the soldiers. She break the sword a bit. She likes it sharp.
I will not keep you from your work. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. See you later, Terry.
See you later. Yeah, Terry will leave.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do in the market?
No, just I guess generally looking around for bits and see if she meets anyone that she knows. Not nothing specific.
Well, there's like new drinks, new set of armor pieces. Uh, you hear like rumors, but like nothing insane. You hear there was like a lockdown in Boston recently. As in lockdown isn't like the nobility said like no changeling can go outside for
Okay.
some weird reason. Um, you get another piece of juicy gossip saying that the Dame Carfield left the like she was here and a messenger came and then she fucked off as soon as she can. Juicy gossips, or not so juicy gossips.
I mean, Terry is interested in gossip, um, and there are specific topics that will pique her interest, like anything regarding the Flaming Falcon or anything regarding the war, uh, commoners versus nobles, things like that.
The the gossip regarding the war is quite like the news of you guys finding out a goblin lab and like taking it is just like treated as a new rumor. Bronx is extremely not extremely, but it's the barony that is away from the queens. Therefore,
Yeah.
shit comes late, or it's just there's not a lot of connection,
Hmm.
or you're in the wrong place to get the information.
That's fair. Does she actually hear anything about the statue?
Yes, she does. That the people were happy to see. Like some of the people said, "Look, yeah, man, that was cool as shit." It's like, um, that's how you should do things. You shouldn't put heads on spikes. Yeah, that type of thing. Is there anything specific that you think that you would hear that you want to tell me?
Mm, oof. I mean, okay, let's be completely honest here. Anything related to Jack will make her stop and listen.
I
We
mean,
both know
Jerry,
this.
the there was a rumor of like, oh, the Flaming Falcons are not getting treated right by the Knight Commander. Um, the little banter about like, oh yeah, I heard he's dating with a Duchess now.
Hmm.
Um, which like this is the third Duchess that she thinks that the people thinks that she's dating.
Yeah.
Like, well, I heard this is an illegal Duchess, and like you're like, yeah, fuck no. Like, yeah, sure, sure, Mr. Mosby, yeah, you're right. But that you hear like that Knocker Knight, Knocker Dame is looks very sad all the time. Um, you hear that the people in Manhattan is feeling very happy with the new Baron and Baroness,
Hmm.
and they're trying to get the Goblin Town come back in Manhattan and work on their Manhattan. But the one of the things is like Goblin Town is shit. It's like they're fucked. They can't do shit. That's kind of like one of the things that you also hear that the people doesn't like Goblin Town around here.
Hmm. Which makes
People are
sense.
happy that Anna Urin convinced the Baron to give them the right to bear arms
Hmm.
because of the Tulane threat. As you remember, if you want to
Yeah.
bear a weapon, the nobility is going to give you the weapon for free. But like you need to like tell that if you have the weapon to nobility and you basically like either they're going to give you the weapon or like you need to tell them so they can like cast like sovereign on it to basically like you can't pull that like they're giving the weapons for free and they're saying like the rule is like you can't pull it towards guards or you can't pull it towards like the nobility.
Hmm.
You can only pull it when you are feeling like in danger.
Yeah.
um and actually that kind of causes like Jenny to run towards Terry and like, oh, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot something to tell you. I forget to tell you something.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That I needed to talk with the nobility to tell them that I'm making a sword for you.
Uh, yeah, I kind of figured something like that. That's fine. You do you. I don't want to get you into trouble, and I'm kind of done with getting into trouble myself. At least with this barony.
Um, I'm gonna
So,
write them
hmm
basically the saying that I'm doing this. Before I give you the weapon, they may just want to check the weapon to see like if there's any dark magic, blah blah blah. Just so you know,
yeah, that's cool.
it's the usual stuff.
Oh, by the way, if you want to have like the noble person responsible for me as the simple commoner,
Hmm.
I think it was Isabella.
Dame is
Yeah,
I might have a good working relationship with Dame Isabella. She was actually like I
yeah,
also
she's cool.
I'm also like one of the people who is under her. She's actually trying to get me to the House Dougal.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
I mean, no, I'm not a very leadership person. I'm not interested in joining any house now.
Neither am I. Neither am I.
I am going to see you later again.
See you later.
Now, after she leaves, you hear that Jenny is getting a house Dougal. Oh yeah, she's totally entering house Dougal as a rumor as well, which you know is a lie as well.
Yeah.
Let's see what are other rumors that you can hear. Um, there's a preparation for Beltane.
hmm
Beltane is coming soon. It's basically yeah, man. Sealy rules again. It's like
Like you have to stop ruling.
yeah. It's like it's our time now. It's
Yeah.
it's those times. Those times are come. Beltane is like a festival that is like celebrated like insanely in this part of town.
hmm Yeah, Terry is considering, and she hears that. She's like considering, should I do something special with that? I kind of don't wanna, but will probably be good for business, so I might have to.
Yeah, I'm trying to open the rumor section just to write you things. Um, you hear Emerson, Obi's character.
hmm
He's telling stories about oiled men wrestling with each other.
Yeah.
You hear another rumor about say Nazrick and a new um, lady. When I say lady, it's just a woman
hmm
known as Sophia defeated a Hydra. That's like, oh man, it's like some shit Hercules did. Oh no. You hear that the Jerry the Mouse Puka is such a hero, and the shame that Terry the Otter Puka just kept them. You're not saying that shit to your face. They
Terry
only
tries
said
so
like,
hard. Terry tries so hard not to laugh at that. No, it's fine if they say that.
no, no,
Like,
they don't say it to your face. You're a sorcerer. You do inspire fear. Therefore, like they're like, yeah, Jerry the Rat Puka is very such a hero. Um,
I have a great admiration for her. Terry will say, if
mhm.
anyone says it like within hearing range.
the It's still known that there's a new dragonkin in the city.
hmm
Um, there are rumors of like Sir Ryder trying to be a baron in the new place that he went in, that he just went in.
God.
There
Uh,
is a site of Thanos Chimera in Queens,
hmm
and those are the things that you hear here.
Okay.
Are you gonna try to meet and piss Thanos Chimera? No, you're not. Don't, just don't.
God, no.
I don't want to snap you out of reality, Sasuke.
I would prefer not to be snapped. Jeez. Like, how about not do that?
I
No.
am inevitable.
I mean, she'll just listen to the rumors, and I think actually after some time she'll leave the because this is a freehold, right?
It is a freehold.
Yeah. So she'll leave the freehold and she'll actually send a text to Alistair basically asking, uh, hey dude, I am probably gonna buy a sword soon. I never really held a sword before. You wouldn't happen to know someone who could train me, right?
Dame, he makes like he says like Dame Bruma, and then like he's like joking, stop, like she's not. And then he says like, um, there's many sword wielding individuals in the Barony. You may like ask someone, and they may like ask things in return. Like you're a like, and then like he just stops. Like you see, like he kind of like stops. Like he sends you a half text, and then he says, like, "You're a fucking sorcerer now. You can just tell people to do deals with you."
Terry will just reply with dot dot dot.
I mean, like you can't just be like, "Hello, motherfucker, teach me." But like you can just be like, "Oh, like they would may have to treat you a bit of a respect because you're a sorcerer now." Like it's the sorcerer isn't a title; it is just it means that you are powerful, and it is known that you're powerful. So it will be cool to treat you nice.
So Terry is thinking because, you know, she prefers to be trained by someone that she sort of trusts. So that's sort of limited. So she's trying to think, okay, who is a sword fighter that would be able to help me train?
Now there was a couple options. The one of them is basically Alistair. The
Hmm.
other option is maybe Detlef. Uh, the third option is Dame or uh, Knight. Um, Jenny in the this is different Jenny.
Hmm.
What was
Oh
her
yeah,
name?
yeah,
Jenny.
that Jenny, yeah.
The Boggin Jenny. I
Hmm.
have a
Hmm.
bunch of Jennies, redhead Jenny.
Yeah,
All the red.
apparently so.
I don't fucking understand why, but yeah, the it's just because of Lyra, bunch of redheads.
Uh huh. Hmm.
Now, there is the again Dame Bruma, who you have a bit of a weird relationship with. Anna Urin is said to be good at spear fighting. Now, like sword fighting is basically like you kind of know that the you get better by hitting things.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the options that you have.
I mean, there was one option you didn't mention, which was the only option that came to my mind after besides Alistair at that point. But you know,
Jared, I mean, you know that he will probably refuse.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Mm, that left might be an interesting choice.
there is another person that is known to be a bit of a snake on the grass.
Okay.
It is the Sir Sir Eogan Longwalk after one. The Cauldron House in Manhattan, the elusive issue that you know, is known as one of the most dangerous individuals in the kingdom. He uses a spear and a small shield.
Hmm. But she doesn't actually know him.
Yeah, you
Like,
don't know him.
I don't think she ever talked to him. Right.
The You're trying to think there was like there's a satyr called Sir Jasper, captain of the guard in Queens. Like these are like coming to you via text because
Yeah.
Alistair knows these things better than you do. Dame Solia, Olkin's mom.
Hmm.
Uh, the When we check Staten Island, we already have Detlef and no one else. Night Commander seems to be quite good at what she does. She's told me.
Let's not.
There is the Sir Axel Garnason, the Knight of Dear Nazrick. You see, he is the one who called you
Hmm.
shut the fuck up when you talk to him.
Yeah. No.
Um, There's a captain of the guard called Delilah in
Hmm.
actually Bronx that you did
Yeah.
met once.
Yeah.
Delilah is a Gwydion squire. She is usually someone who makes a quick work of those who runs away from him. It's maybe because Cluricons can stop people and make them fight them. So like when someone steals something, she runs and says like motherfucker, and then they stop and try to fight her, and it just ends badly. Um, Dame Valerie seems to know a bit of a punch card, and now lastly, what comes to your mind is that the Red Cap crew, not the in Manhattan, but in the one the Blood Axis, they
Uh-huh.
know how to fight and they know how to fight dirty. The Sindri's son usually fights with a hammer, and there's another crew member in that place who fights with an axe. They would teach you the brutal combat, but they would teach you the brutal combat. You have a
You
lot
know
of
what?
options.
Why not? I
Okay.
think that sounds. I think she's actually going to approach both them and Detlef,
Hmm.
because Detlef probably still fights honorably. Honorably, I can English, and they don't. And basically, I think Terry would want to learn uh, kind of both styles and see which one suits her best.
You know that the Bendry, son of Sindri, usually fucks around or hangs around in Brooklyn, and because they kind of live in Brooklyn, and they hang around in common ground. So your first stop will be the common ground,
Hmm.
and you see Bendry and his wife Galia. They're basically playing cards with some Cluricons. And I think they look so cute.
Um, what are they drinking?
They're drinking beer.
Okay, any particular brand?
No, they just seem to drink like normal beer.
Okay. So, you know what? Terry will go to the bartender, and just before he can ask what he wants, she says, "Could I please have a round for table over there?"
He kind of gives you a look. We still didn't have sex yet.
I'm a virgin.
This is very sad. As he takes the money and gives the okay, I need you to give me a chance. I have a one liner.
Okay, I'll give you a chance.
I have a minor drug problem.
Okay.
Didn't work? Okay, let's me try the next one. I'm the only guy here who doesn't have STD. Okay, this didn't work as well. Third one. Third one's fine. I
Uh-huh.
vax my butt cheeks and they're like collapsed against each other. They're not coming like it's just yeah.
Okay, okay, stop. Just give me the goddamn round. Or just give
Yeah,
them the goddamn round.
I will. See you later, Barry. It was nice to see you again.
Yo.
He goes around. This is like the stupid things that he says to many people around. Terry isn't the only special lady, but he gives them the beer, and then he like the guy's like, I don't ask for beer, and then they kind of show like Terry. He does show Terry.
Yeah, she'll wave.
Um, they kind of like get up from what they were playing, and they come up. Um, um, um Terry, what do we owe this pleasure?
I just kind of wanted to have a chat, but I didn't want to interrupt your game, so please finish your game, enjoy a beer, and I'll talk to you later.
He drinks the beer, and he's like, "We're fine. We're already losing anyway."
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe I have a proposition for you with which you won't be losing.
Yes.
I need to get better at using a sword, and I heard you were the man to speak to.
Well, I'm not a sword user. I use an axe.
Eh. So I heard you have a particular style that might be of interest to me.
What's that style's name?
It's called grazing the butterflies.
Never heard of it.
No, of course not. I heard you guys don't necessarily stick to the rules of honorable combat.
Oh, if you don't fight fair, yeah. Well, that is easy to do. What do we earn out of this?
Let me think. Well, what is of interest to you guys? Like, I could set up an account for you guys at the Mariner, but I have a feeling that you guys don't necessarily like coming to the
Being in
Bronx.
Bronx, yeah. Bronx is weird. Um, you seem to be good with Wayfair. My wife Galia, she kind of wants
Hmm.
to learn Wayfair bits. So yeah, I can teach my wife Galia Wayfair, and then Galia kind of nods. Yeah, Wayfair will be cool. So you'll be
Sure.
teaching me and my wife Galia, and maybe the dog, teaching you how to scrap. We can just do that, and we will be fine.
I'm down with that.
Cool. He does a handshake.
Yep. Terry will shake on it as well.
Well, when do you want this to begin? You can just let us know.
Well, I have to have a sword first, so might just take a while, but I'll get back to you guys.
Oh, yeah. So see you later, Terry.
Later, Mater.
And Terry kind of like not Terry, sorry. Bendry and Galia kind of fucks off and sits down, and they're like yelling at the Chloricons, like, you're a motherfucker, you cheat.
Terry will smile and will probably drink whatever drink she bought for herself, which is
Mm-hmm.
probably whatever she didn't really want anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think then she would probably try and see if she could find Detlef,
And
who is
finding
usually at
Detlef,
the library.
he's not usually actually at the library, but like
Oh,
it takes a while for you to find him. It seems he is at the courtyard of Queens. So you go to Staten Island and
oh,
then go
oh,
to
great.
and then like fuck,
Go to
he's not here.
Queens. Oh boy.
Exactly. You go to Queens and then you see that Laugh is basically fighting with a sword, kicking a training dummy.
Okay. She will once more wait till he's basically finished because you're not gonna interrupt a guy with a sword, like you know.
While like he is hitting the sword, he kind of looks. Terry waves his hand as he continues because he doesn't think she came for him. So
She'll wave back and she'll kind of walks up a little closer, sort of indicating, yes,
mhm.
I did come for you. But again, she will not necessarily interrupt him. After all, he is still a knight, I believe, and
He is
she's
still a
definitely
knight.
not. Yeah, and she has been taught a little bit about etiquette now, so
How can I help you, sorcerer?
um, well, I just liked to see you train,
Many does.
and I was wondering if you teach others.
To those who I consider friends, I do.
And what does one need to do to be considered a friend?
A lot. But so you want to learn how to use a sword? What happened? You're gonna kill Telanes now?
I wasn't planning on it necessarily. Oh wait, blah blah blah. Totally. That's why I'm a general in the army now.
Well, yeah, I heard you got kicked. So who are you killing now? Shadow Court members. You're a sorcerer now, so you must be killing someone.
Why would a sorcerer automatically kill people?
Well, power trips people. Therefore, it makes people go up their heads, and then one of the biggest way of showing power is actually killing others.
You don't necessarily kill others.
Well, I do, and it benefits me.
Well, then there you have your answer.
So you want to learn how to fight?
Yeah.
I don't see you have a sword.
No, I got one.
I couldn't hear you.
No, I got one ordered.
Oh, fancy. But you're not gonna fight with an edge blade because I'm not gonna fight with an edge blade. Because if you're gonna fight with an edge blade, I would fight with an edge blade, and then you would die. Therefore, he goes to the racks, gets a wooden shield, and he like kind of throws it to you.
She'll look at it. Shield?
Well, if you want one, you can get one. He
Never
points.
used a shield before.
Well, I don't use a shield usually
Well, then why would I need one?
because you want to get the arrows out of your face.
Are you going to shoot arrows at me?
Not me, but the Talanes do.
Okay. She'll take the shield at that point. Hold it kind of awkwardly. But holds it.
He kind of like looks at your feet. You seem to know your feet work because even if Saskia says no, Terry doesn't. Terry does know her feet work because she has melee too. You can't just not know these things. Um, and he basically starts walking towards Terry with the sword in hand and pointing at the sword towards her that's coming from his shoulder. Like basically, he holds it up and walks down towards you.
Okay, she has a shield, so she'll hold the shield in between them. And yes, she does know her footwork.
Hmm. I'm happy that you
I
don't
was
fight
never
on this.
gonna say no.
You see, he kind of like hits the shield 3 times in like 7 seconds, and you kind of didn't expect him to hit that fast. But
Okay.
but you do hold, and he says, "Yeah, you know how to hold a shield. It's very simple, Terry. You just protect the good bodies of your body, basically belly, heart, head. When people throw things at you, you kind of protect those.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's come to the part where you don't protect your shield because you kind of need to see as he like kind of hits because like when he says you need to protect your head, I'm thinking that Terry would maybe like put her head behind the shield.
Um, I'm actually not sure if she would. Like maybe a little, but not
Hmm.
fully, because
Yeah.
yeah, this is not a tower shield, so she wouldn't like be able to duck entirely behind the shield. So
No,
it
you
just
would.
kind of moves it around with the
Mhm.
direction of the sword, so she wouldn't immediately cover her head with it,
Well, you don't
because
look
that's
like
not
some
where the
trolls
sword
there.
is yet.
He kind of says like, "Yeah, you're not like dumb trolls. You're fine. Maybe you won't die so fast."
I've managed to survive so far.
He nods. The dance begins again, and Detlef tries to hit Terry. Basically, he lets Terry defend herself. You do know that he lets you defend yourself, by the way.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
it is quite obvious that Detlef is like whole life he did this dance,
Yeah.
and one time like he hits right, he hits left, he hits right, and he hits left, and then like he throws like sand with his feet. It is hard for you to cover. Like
Mhm.
you said that you didn't cover your face quite
No.
well, and it does make you cough.
Yeah, I think she would try when she sees him like kicking him out the sand. I think she would try to step backwards,
Hmm.
but would probably not be fast enough because she didn't expect this move from him actually.
Hmm. And when
So
you
she kind of
cough,
looks surprised.
yeah, just a second, sorry.
Hmm.
Yeah, he. What? How does she look when he does it?
She looks surprised, like a little, because she didn't expect that move from him.
He doesn't say anything. He doesn't realize that you actually look surprised, and he says, "Don't expect that your people that you fight will fight like you. Many knights died from people who spits to their face."
Hmm.
Well, Terry, to be honest with you, you do seem to know the basics of fighting with a sword.
I mean, I've had experience mostly with a club, just a baseball bat, to be honest, and a knife. A
Not a lot of
sword is
difference.
still a different technique.
Well, when you want to master things, yes, it does. That's a different. Like basically, the difference between the third dot OOC and second dot OOC is that third dot is super mastery. It's like the fourth dot is like you being the best among the world.
Mm,
So, pardon, apologies. Third dot is professional use. Second dot is regular use. The fourth, the fourth dot is being extremely professional, and fifth dot is being among the best in the world.
yeah.
He kind of looks at you. You are, as they said, pretty good. You just use a sword like you use a sap, but it just cuts deeper, and you don't do a lot of moves. That's the you do more moves, which is this, as he like kind of holds his hands and then like this pushes the sword a bit and then pulls it back, basically stab. But if you really want, we can continue.
I mean, I wouldn't mind learning more, but this is a shield.
Huh?
Do you have any other practice swords?
I don't. Why? I don't
Okay,
understand why you mean.
well, just fighting with the shield would make it a bit difficult, but getting training, I presume. But then again, you're the teacher, not me at this point. Also, what
He
would
did
you
give
like in
you
return?
a weapon. By the way, he did give you a weapon.
Oh, I honestly thought he had just given me a shield.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Terry would wait for a moment and then, holds up the sword,
Hmm.
um, like not a active fighting stance, but still, uh, basically a ready,
Hmm.
and says, "If you would like to teach me, I would still like to do something in return."
Well, Terry, pleasure beating you seems to be nice for me. You do have a very annoying hair.
You want me to cut my hair?
No, I'm just enjoying beating others sometimes.
Okay, so basically, you get the honor of beating me up and therefore training me.
Well, honor is a lie, so I don't get any honor.
Sure.
This is the first time you see that you were actually socially engaging with that laugh, and that laugh is probably a very different person that you actually thought he was.
I mean, she did engage with him at some point. Wasn't he teaching like children or something?
Yes, way different than he is teaching you.
Oh yeah, that's fine. But
He seems to be in the edge of unseelie life that is mocking around. Like he is not like a writer. There is points that he
Mhm.
there are points that you saw him something, but he seems to be enjoying this for some reason that he's teaching you that you don't know why.
Yeah,
Maybe a wit's roll at the difficulty of 9 without a willpower can give you any clues.
Well, I am more than willing to give that a try.
Let's make it an 8 actually, not a 9. It should be possible.
Okay. I'm in the changing rice roller already. I just haven't started the scene yet. Oh,
You do or you don't.
oh yeah, I'm gonna try it. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
damn you once.
You don't give a shit.
No, it's so sad. But okay, she just shrugs. It's fine. Says, well, if you only want the dubious honor of beating me up, because trust me, you won't be the first nor the last. How about um something that those kids you teach need?
You're boring me, and I don't like when I'm bored.
Okay, suit
I
yourself.
already accepted your offer, so yeah, he does jumps, like not jumps, but he does like pushes himself and like tries to hit the shield. Not Terry, because he is a bit of a kind person inside. That doesn't show it to Terry that much, but yeah, he does swing the sword where Terry can easily parry with the shield at least.
And Terry will parry with the shield.
Hmm.
But well, after that, just instead of hitting him back, she'll just toss the shield away.
Hmm.
I like you could try and hit, but she'll because basically her action is throwing the shield away.
I mean,
If
he kind of looks at her like, "What are you doing?"
I figured with training, there's bruises involved. If you're hitting the shield, you're training me wrong because I'll expect my enemies to hit my fucking shield. I don't want to be trained into thinking that my enemies will hit my shield.
When I think that you deserve to be hit on your face, you will be hit in your face. Pick up that shield.
And if I refuse,
Then I'm not going to teach you.
Terry kind of sighs, but we'll pick up the shield again.
Me still hits the shield.
She'll at this point try to, hit him.
Yeah, you like he hits you, you hit him back, and he easily like goes to the right to dodge it, but then he attacks the shield again in a such power that you kind of like drop the shield, or like it hurts your hand.
Mhm.
We kind of realize that there is a point to this as well, and it's not just him taking it easy on you. It is that you need to get used to the attacks of the shield as well, because they will attack your shield to just making you drop the shield, because
Okay.
shield gives an advantage to people,
Mhm.
and that left is using a bastard sword while you're using a long sword. The education continues. He doesn't seem to beat Terry down or anything like that. He just teaches Terry in a way um, that Terry didn't take education in the past. He teaches her the move parry. He teaches her like the. I'm checking at the attacks actually just to teach you, like to, what they said tell you. What the maneuvers he teaches. He teaches like riposte, which is basically the attack that you do after the parry.
Mhm.
He teaches you like the attack with the weapons back when enemy is close, and he teaches you to disarm actually, disarming someone. And then he
Okay.
shows you like that disarming move doesn't work on him, and you were kind of surprised because you did exactly what he said, and he actually shows you that his weapon is locked to his hand.
Mhm.
So he says like after it's finished, you are like heavily bleeding, and
Yeah,
then
and probably like she would have tried to keep hold of the shield.
mhm.
I don't know if you want me to make like either a strength or a stamina roll to see if she would have been able
No, it's
to.
fine. It's fine. You don't need to.
Okay. So probably that arm just feels kind of numb at that point, but
Hmm.
you know,
Your shoulder does hurt with
yeah.
him constantly hitting the shield. He did taunted you, and he said like he's like, yeah, you can't hit shit. Couple times, not a couple times. He did taunted you more than 3 times, and he seems to be good at taunting people. Whenever he says like um, kind of stinged, and he actually said like one time, which is the one that it stings the most, is like,
Mhm.
you can't hit me, you're shit, and if you can't hit me one more time, I'm gonna stick the sword into places Jarek never found. That's that like that stings.
Oh.
And like
Yeah.
then do you turn with anger to that count?
I mean, Terry will definitely get extremely annoyed slash angry. The
Hmm.
thing with Terry is usually that she just becomes extremely stubborn at that point.
Hmm.
So that just gives her like more resolve to actually hold on to the fucking shield.
Yeah, you do hold on to the shield more, and then like you get like angry because like when you're angry, you put like your blows like more power than usual.
Mm, mm,
You don't realize he's doing this with a purpose. He's not like he's not doing this. Maybe he does. Maybe you don't. You don't know. You don't know if like how why or how he does. But like you get the point that like you are getting tired when you put a lot of
mm.
power behind your attacks, and he is just like easily parrying you when you attack him after that point,
Yeah,
because he
yeah,
used to like just run and dodge, but now that you see like he's just like ting ching ching, he's easily like getting away from the blows with his sword, not just with his body.
yeah,
And like one time, let me if you want, like I can narrate this if you want.
yeah.
It becomes a point where you're too slow. He kind of like um, he becomes very fast, and you're like slowing down. As much as you're fast, he seems to be more like he did remain defensive when you remain attacking. So what happened in the end was like he dodged your attack. He come to your side and he actually tackled you with his leg, and then you like fall to the ground with your like on legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're done for today, Terry. As he like backs off from you because you know that like because he doesn't know that like Terry can still attack him even from the ground or throw the shield because he did piss her off.
I
So
think she's probably, if she's actually on the ground and that she will try to, kind of sweep him, kick her legs
yeah,
against his.
as I said, like he is basically backing off.
Hmm.
It would be like very hard for you to do so.
I mean, she would try.
I mean, if you want to roll, we can, or I can just say no. He dodges.
You know what? Why not make it a fucking roll? I'm
Okay.
willing to try it.
Going to be the first time I roll dices of that laugh.
Oh, nice. Okay. What do you want me to roll?
I mean, you're going to roll a sweep, which is normally a brawl move, but we're going to go with melee.
Okay.
Now, sweep in my document, which I kind of opened it, is difficulty 8. You're on the ground. This is going to be difficulty 9.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So is it strength athletics or dex athletics or
Dex
melee?
melee.
Dex
Dex
melee.
melee.
Okay. Let me give this a try. I'm not gonna spend a willpower on it because I feel that's
Mhm.
lame in this situation. Wanna, if I wanna be able to make this, I kind of wanna do it without like having
Mhm.
to spend the willpower. Again with the one.
I didn't have to
Wow.
roll. I didn't have to
No,
roll the that last dice. Maybe for another day because usually people fails against them when they do shit like this.
that's
He
insane.
No, I'm sorry. Like it's just like it happened every time when people did a thing against him. They just failed. So he kind of like takes an arm back upon takes another like step back, and he says, "I said we were done, Terry."
She just kind of, breathes in and then breathes out, like deeply, uh, and then nods. Sure.
Well, it was quite fine. I think that you had a very good development. See you soon in the future, Terry.
See you later.
And
And
he,
gives her that laugh, and she will actually, does the kind of thing that Isabella has tried to teach her, like
Mhm.
sort of an etiquette thing. It still
uh,
looks like she only has etiquette one, so it looks terrible, like but at least the attempt was there and was well meant.
he kind of like says, "The problem is within your legs, sorceress Terry. You're bending them so hard." As he puts the sword to the racks.
Hmm.
Well, I guess see you later again, and I will go and just be myself.
Good luck with that. And Terry
Thanks.
will hang up her equipment and we'll leave. Yeah.
Hmm. Thank you. I will say that that will be the moment we end our scene.
Hmm.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. See you next time.
And thank you, SD, for staying.